Ow, that hurts. Hi, happy Friday. I can't believe it's Friday, everybody. So this is Digital Fam, and welcome to the Overland channel. I'm actually live streaming to Twitch, Facebook, Overland YouTube, and I believe Twitter. I sure hope the audio works. Let me just double check. I'm really excited because I have a realtor named Jennifer S. Goodman, and she is living in Austin, Texas. And there's so many exciting things. Just to let you know that I have spoken to her before about the metaverse, and especially OVR, the reality. So if you don't know what OVR is, they are an open augmented reality metaverse. So what does that even mean, open augmented reality? Well, let me tell you. They literally have built a spatial layer over the whole world. Meaning that, what do you call it? You can literally buy and own metaverse land, okay, wait for it, over the exact geolocation of the real world. So why would you want to own metaverse land? Well, why wouldn't you? The reason why you would is because you could do so many things with it. I'm not going to get into it right now. If you are watching from YouTube, you can just go through and browse my video library and it'll tell you everything there. If you are on Twitch, if you are any of my other platforms, there are links to my YouTube channel. And if I can manage to multitask, I can put it up as a text, but you guys are smart. Just Google Digital Fam Overland, go to the different platforms and you'll see it there. Anyway, let's get to it. I'm going to bring on Jennifer and let's see if this works, everybody. There we go. And right now I don't have her yet. This is what I'm going to do. I am going to hide this website. Okay, there. Okay, now let's bring on Jen in 3, 2, 1. Hi, Jennifer.
Hey, Carmen. Thanks so much for having me on today.
Oh, I'm so glad you came. You're here. You came. Like you took. It was like what? What did you have to do to get ready to come here virtually?
Probably nothing more than anybody else would have done to get ready to be here. I ran this morning. I took a shower. I got ready and got to work. So here we are.
Oh my God, that's so cool. You run. I don't run. I run in my sleep though. I run away from like things that are chasing me, like dragons and stuff. But that's a whole other podcast.
Yeah, unless they have dragons on OVR, then
I like that. They do. They do. They do. So here's something I have a question for. First, tell me, what's the weather like in Austin right now?
Oh my gosh, we are in full spring mode, which basically means that we never know what the temperature is going to be. We were in the 30s earlier this week, and then yesterday we hit a high of I think we were almost 80. So it's a crazy swing. It's March. We're heading to South by Southwest, so the weather is going to level out in the next couple of weeks, I imagine. But really, it's great because it's cool in the morning, and it's usually beautiful in the afternoons, and it's one of my favorite times of year, actually.
Oh my God, that's amazing. I love Austin. I actually lived, if you don't know, in Texas for 11 years. And I had visited Austin a couple of times. And I attended, I think, it's a good thing you mentioned South by Southwest because, I'm so excited. Are you going to attend?
You know what? I had an opportunity to attend. This year they're adding this big sort of part in the world of psychedelics. And I had an opportunity to join an event, but you know what, it's just from an order of what's going on of magnitude, I let it go. But I'm really excited for the world of psychedelics to be in the realm of more mainstream as things are starting to come forward, with so many high level like Johns Hopkins and different academic bodies really going into that world. So it's so cool to now see that they're taking the stage at South by Southwest. So that's the long answer to saying, you know what, I'm actually not going to go, but I do have some friends coming in. I have some friends coming in from Canada that are going to be staying with me for a couple weeks actually, and I know that they're looking really forward to attending. And so many people that I know are either a part of South by Southwest by being on the stage. Sorry about that. Sorry, 1 second.
Don't worry about it. First of all, I think this
There we go.
I think this video is gonna, or this live stream is gonna take a whole other turn. Can you please, for people that are watching, what are psychedelics?
Oh gosh. Okay. So I
Keep it
apologize
short,
for,
Jennifer. Keep it short. Not as short, but
yeah. The world of psychedelics right now, as I'm referring to it, doesn't it stems back to things maybe that we heard of, back in the 60s, like utilizing different types of plants or medicines to hit a different level of consciousness. But the way I'm referring to it is right now, not in the party mode, but really in the world of health and wellness, and how different, like I said, academic structures such as Johns Hopkins, there have been a ton of money thrown at the opportunity for people to really take deep dives into working, utilizing different types of medicines to help in a lot of mental, in the mental space, in the wellness space. So a lot of work is being done with PTSD. It's being used with a host of things that it's beyond me to talk about, but I can share with you that the world is opening up to, and doesn't need to necessarily be so convinced anymore, that there are opportunities for us to really help ourselves in the space of healing traumas, core wounds, and that kind of thing. And I'm really excited that there's an opportunity this year at South by, and for the folks that are taking that on, and the incredible work that is being done in the space.
oh my God, that's amazing. So I love that. So there's a viewer that's watching, and I really appreciate it. They sent me a message that it seems a little bit laggy. So thank you for that. So if it is laggy, please bear with me, guys. So what I did to correct that was I literally shut down all the other programs that I have. I shut down Discord, Slack, Telegram, WhatsApp, and all that stuff. So hopefully it's going to pick up again. But thank you so much. Shout out to S2 for doing that. Okay, I'm really interested about the psychedelics.
Recording in progress.
Alrighty, so I have you know that I'm all about OVR, the reality, and I'm really bullish about them. And you remember that I approached you, I think it was like last year, like in the beginning of May, telling you about, oh my God, OVR, the reality, I've waited for them and everything like that. And I really wanted to get your thoughts on it, meaning, my stance on real estate and the metaverse.
Mm-hmm.
And that OVR, the reality, is a spatial layer that's literally over the whole world, and people can bid and own. They're called overlands. That's, what is it? That corresponds with the physical layer. And just so you know, guys, overlands, they're hexagonal in shape, and they're 300 square meters in area size. So if you wanted to, let's say, buy, I don't know, like the whole of Central Park, you can't right now, but it probably consists of 20 or 30 overlands. But we'll talk about that later. Jen, where do you see real estate going now that there is this OVR, the reality, and spatial layer for the metaverse?
Well, it's such a broad question, and I appreciate you asking. And I guess really, starting with the social economy, and investors are doing really creative things right now, and people are using what's available to them today in the 3D world, as well as with the metaverse. And so when we look at where our worlds are converging right now, I think there are those people that are always going to be at the forefront of thought, and the early adopters, and how they all come to play. And there's those first two categories that sort of everybody kind of runs, and then everybody else sort of lags and then follows. But I don't think that you have to convince a lot of people these days to buy in the metaverse. Now it becomes a question of how we navigate within the space, and then execute to buy, because there's so much innovation going on, and even what's happened in the last 12 months or however long, since we started talking about this. I mean, the game is consistently changing, and it's going to continue to change, for generations to come. So it's a really interesting time, because what I see, Carmen, on is that we've got geography and where we live in our 3D world right now, and that we buy real property. And we know that people buy real property for a number of reasons. Let's call it our personal home, for example, we're buying for community. We're buying for as an investment, whether people realize it or not. Chances are most money that they're ever going to make is from their real property that they own, even if it's called home, versus then the investors who are investing in property to, maybe make financial gains through the way a property will increase in value, which is a financial level 1. Then there's financial level 2 of, you're paying off your mortgage. So as you get that to cut down, you have, this bucket of wealth, if you will. And what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing right now is that, like with OVR and the open augmented realty, is that, or reality is, I guess it's both, is, that there's this, affordability right now that may not exist in the future, because when you buy something, you buy, as you said, your hexagon of space. And later on, if you wish to buy that, you're going to pay a premium, just like you do in real estate today, because I can't buy a property, from 5 years ago at the 5-year ago rate. And I certainly can't buy it at 10 or 20, or the house I grew up in as a kid at the same rate that it was available. And so I imagine that OVR as a platform where people will own space in the metaverse and are owning it, I see that the value is just going to continue to go up and up and up as more people enter the space and decide that, hey, there really is a value. So I think that was a long-winded message, but that's kind of where my head's at.
That's wonderful, and I love hearing your thoughts on that, because I absolutely 100% agree with you. I feel that the metaverse or NFT metaverse land on OVR, the prices will go up. And you're right. Right now, if you were to bid on new, fresh, virgin Overland, it costs about between 10 to 12 US dollars. And the good thing about it is it used to be minted on the Ethereum blockchain, and the gas fee is like ridiculous. Sometimes you pay between like $50 to $200 for something for metaverse land that costs like 12 US on Ethereum. But now they migrated beginning of February to the Polygon blockchain, where the gas fees are like literally cents. So it's amazing. And you're right, for people who are listening and who will be listening to this in the future, you really got to get in while you can right now, because you see so many talk about metaverse lands. There's Decentraland, Sandbox, CryptoVoxel, Niantic, who are the creators of Pokemon Go. And prior to that, Ingress, this augmented reality thing, they're planning to 3D map the world. Like, I don't know, but I feel like OVR is definitely ahead of its time. And they are like the first open augmented reality platform that literally merges with the physical world. And especially their partnership with Boson Protocol about a month ago, where Boson Protocol is merging like real retail and starting off with luxury retail. So they're going to put their luxury retail experiences on OVR. And because OVR is also partnered with Chainlink, an Oracle like blockchain, I guess. Okay, don't quote me. But people will be able to purchase and pay for things and transact within the metaverse and the real world, which is really super surprising. Jen, do you plan on owning any overlands?
You know what? I am. I'm excited. I feel like now's the time to do it, Carmen. I can't say I'm always a thought leader, but I do listen to a lot of thought leaders, and the more time I've actually spent in the real estate space and considering what it's like for digital currency to purchase tangible goods, and what's happening in the metaverse, I absolutely, as a realtor, I kind of owe it to myself as well as my future clients that are in that world to really have an understanding, at least enough to be dangerous, because there's so much opportunity for the blockchain. But I think that to go into OVR, who's a thought leader in the space, seems like if I'm going anywhere, that is the place that I'm putting my cash. So yes, absolutely.
Oh, that's amazing. And I'd love to, if you have any questions at all, I'd love to help you walk through that process. You just need a MetaMask. No, yeah, you need a MetaMask wallet. I know they're in Polygon and you don't really need Matic right now, but we'll get into that later. So you mentioned South by Southwest. Interestingly enough, we have a group of OVR community members, the ones that live in Texas. They're going to be in South by Southwest from like the 11th to the 20th. And I would love for you to go down. We'll set a date for you to meet them because literally there are artists and musicians that are going to have augmented reality experiences all and around 6th Street.
Oh, amazing.
So yes, and there's this guy, his name is at Hexadized or Hexadized on social media, but we call him Charles. He's definitely going to be there. He is the organizer of this. He is driving the OVR community. He's like, this guy is like amazing. So he's coordinating all these artists and musicians to have their augmented reality experiences. And of course there are, I don't know actually who owns the overlands over 6th Street, but I guess he's allowed to curate these music and art experiences on these overlands. So what I would love you to do is we will coordinate with Charles and you can meet him and then he can go through the process. We'll have you download the app first and you creating an avatar. It's super, super simple, but he'll have you go through the process of literally walking around 6th Street and checking out the experiences, and we'll find a way to somehow live stream you. So you'll be like on the street, like at, Jennifer S. Goodman, LIATX. That's your hashtag, isn't it? Living.
Yes, which is short for, I use two, actually. I use living in Austin, Texas, and then the short form, which is LIATX. Absolutely.
Oh my God, that's crazy. So wait a minute. You lived in Canada, didn't you?
I did. I actually spent most of my life in Canada, but yeah, most of my life in Canada, actually. And what's really funny is, just to tie this back to South by Southwest, I was, as a teenager, we moved to Texas and I went to the University of Texas. And I remember when South by started in 1987. So it was, and that was really literally like the first time anything like it had been done, where they brought together, the imagination of music, which was the thing I was hearing the most about. And Austin is a music capital, so it made sense. So music, and then fundamentally having these other stages, which were, part of discussion. And after college, I moved back to Toronto for 27 years and then moved back here again to Austin. The pull was so strong. And I've been back for another 6 years. And here we are, it's 2022. And there's probably going to be like 500,000 people at South by Southwest. So it's incredible when you look at the evolution of, something that was a dream. I mean, Ronald Reagan was president when this thing started. So think about that. And just fast forward to where we are now, with the blockchain and NFTs, which, I mean, they are the ultimate crowdfunding platform. They are a space where so many creative people are doing work and inventing. And it is so cool, and it makes so much sense that OVR would be here to do that. And on 6th Street, which is, if you're not from Austin, or if you haven't been to Austin, 6th Street was like the original sort of go-to place. It's like the Rodeo Drive of music, and you just go in and out of the bars. At least if you're in college, that's what we did back in the day. And it's still pretty young crowd, but this is really sort of in Austin, the single street. And it's just incredible to be in Texas's capital, where, so many people are investing in music and at the forefront of so much thought leadership in the world of what you're doing and blockchain and all of the things. So it's really cool. I love that your team is investing their time and energy here coming up. So I'm absolutely all in.
Yeah, me too. And I love that
Yeah.
you said Sixth Street is the Rodeo Drive of music. Like that is like the perfect thing. And I feel like that's got to be on a t-shirt. Like if like you got to grab it and then like promote it and then put it in all those gift shops and have it in a t-shirt and then it's like a little hashtag LITX.
The
The
time is
Rodeo.
11 a.m. It's time to stand up and stretch.
Okay, Google, relax,
All right.
relax.
Google's
So
got well, Google's got you covered because you didn't run this
I found
morning,
a few
so you
locations
may
for
want to stand
Relax
up and stretch.
Relax near you.
okay, Google,
The
just
first one,
stop, Google. Okay, so I pulled out some stats here. So just so
Okay.
you know, we are almost so there's almost 800,000 overlands sold
Wow.
in the whole, I guess, spatial layer world, and you need to know that there's 1.6 trillion overlands, and there's only like less than a million. So we're hitting up to almost 800,000. There's right now 1,200 ongoing auctions. So people are, what is it, bidding on the lands that they want. And there's like, we've spent like 6 million OVR tokens already.
Wow.
So like that is so all these circles, if you don't know, they're like how many overlands are in each country. So you do not have to live in the space where or in the place where you want to buy your overland. If you want to buy an overland in Uzbekistan or Hawaii or Paris or Hawaii, go right ahead. You don't have to physically be there. You can still create AR experiences over there, and then you can publish or upload and publish your augmented reality content wherever it is, and people can visit it. How can they visit it? Once you publish your AR experience, each overland literally has a URL. So once you share that URL link, people have to go onto their phone after they've downloaded the app. They click on the URL, and it literally teleports their avatar into wherever in the world your augmented reality experience is, and you're there and you're experiencing it. And you know what? We really can't wait for augmented reality glasses because, like this is better than having those Oculus headsets that's just like so closed. Not cutting down virtual reality though. There's definitely a place for VR, but with augmented reality, it's just so much more use cases because it's going to be merging with the real physical world.
Yeah, well, yesterday I went to I couldn't find my sunglasses, and you can't not have sunglasses in Texas. And so I walked into, a local place, and they had those Ray-Bans, and I was tempted, but not tempted enough to get in the world of the glasses.
Oh my God. Well, stay tuned because first of all, March 8th is huge. March 8th is
Okay.
International Women's Day. March 8th is International Women's Day, and it is also Apple's event, which I'm kind of pissed because it's like, really, Apple? You could have chosen another day, either March 7th or March 9th or March 10th to hold your Apple event, and you're really gonna like try to kibosh International Women's Day. I don't know. That's kind of weird for me. Jen, is there anything you'd like to share about real estate in Austin, Texas right now?
Oh my gosh. You know what? I really don't know where to start on that because Austin is booming. Like so many places, we are an incredibly good buy, just like OVR is. In the metaverse, we are an incredibly good buy on the world stage, and so because of all the tech companies like the Apple and Samsung and Tesla, and how that all ripples out, we have so much going on in the world of tech in Austin. I mean, we have solidified being Silicon Valley of the South. So our prices are continuing to go up, and a lot of times, just like what you said, you got to knock things down to build them back up. And so I can't wait till a day where we get to a space where we can tokenize our homes, where we can take the capital from our homes and start to have smart contracts and start, like, there's so much going on with the blockchain and all of the things that I can't wait for the state of Texas to catch up on that space, so that we can have all of these high net worth individuals and all these people who are in tech able to actually transact with title companies in that space. So we're not there yet, It is a state thing. It has nothing to do with willingness. Although there are people that will do deals on the side, so there's always a workaround for everything, right? And so there have been transactions where there is an agreement in place, and people are transacting utilizing whatever they are choosing as a transaction. Usually it's Bitcoin, and to the best of my knowledge, it's only Bitcoin. But people are transacting and purchasing. They have an agreed upon price, and it gets handled outside of our traditional ways and means of transacting. But there are other places that are transacting fully, and I can't wait to continue to watch and follow and be part of what is inevitably happening in the world of real estate, because it is so antiquated in a lot of ways, and blockchain is so clean and smart that I can't wait for smart contracts to come about, and I think it's going to be a great time. So Austin is happening in so many spaces, and I'm so thrilled to be here and be part of it, and be in discussions like the one we're having today. So just thank you so much for having me.
Hey, we're not going anywhere yet, girl. Oh, yeah, actually, you do have to go somewhere. But wait a minute. I just wanted to give a shout out to Humble Investor. Hey, hello, and hey, Overland Landlord. They're chatting on YouTube. So that's
Awesome.
really amazing. Love it, love it. Tell me if you have to go. I know you do. But tell me.
We're actually okay. I'm good for a couple more minutes, so we're fine.
Okay. You know what?
My time is yours.
Okay, great. I love that you said title companies, because can you imagine if you get titles on the blockchain like you had said earlier? Like, I'm almost going to hold you to it because you're living in Austin, because you are in real estate. Hola! No bye, no aloha. Oh, people are saying bye, hi to you. Jennifer
Hi.
And my favorite Hexafem.
I love it.
That's kind of cool. Maybe you could help spearhead. I have people right now. OVR landlord. I think he lives in Austin. I believe. I know Charles is in just above you in Terrell, Texas. Hexadize, who you will be meeting. We'll arrange that at South by Southwest. So maybe between the three of you or whoever, you can spearhead this whole the state of Texas, and getting the state of Texas into the future of. I'm gonna hold you to it, Jennifer.
It's I definitely want to be part of those conversations, and it is a bigger discussion, because it's not about something that I want or don't want. It's about the recognition of blockchain and how that is, as well as I do, like our dollar today was worth probably $1.25 the same time last year, or at least $1.11. So as we're looking at the destabilization of our current monetary system as we know it today, known as fiat, backed by gold, that it's going away, and you can stick your head in the sand and play ostrich all you want, but the reality is it's going away. And the blockchain offers such an opportunity for transparency, because it's there and you can't fudge anything. So imagine a world where one person says they own, in the 3D world, they own a house, and somebody says, well, no, you don't. And then, and they go back to this, this chain, something called chain of title. And, you have to look back at all of these different things. And there are people that are unfortunately in lawsuits today over family property, because, one spouse unfortunately becomes deceased, and then the other spouse has lived with them for 30 years, and then their kids claim rights, and all these different things that can happen. But once we're on the blockchain, and ownership is fully transparent and can't be fudged and different things, I think we're going to have a lot less legal battles, and we're going to have a lot more opportunity for people to go forward. And so it's not really about fundamentally whether I or you or anybody wants it. It really does come down to things that are much bigger than I, that are, and on the financial and government level. But it's incredible to think that every industry right now is changing so much. And like I said, real estate has been so archaic, and it's so cool. And I'm so thankful right now as I'm watching and listening and learning what's happening now and how we're building for the future today, that I am absolutely going to stay in that, in those higher level conversations and follow what's going on with blockchain and the real estate space in real life. So
Oh, that's amazing. Yes. So I just put the link to Jennifer S. Goodman's Twitter handle. So please engage with her. And yes, OVR landlord, she will be going to South by Southwest. If you're there, I'm gonna let you guys meet with Hex so that you guys can. I'm gonna make sure she downloads our OVR app first so that she's all ready to go. And then all she can do, you guys can show her the whole AR experiences all over 6th Street. Isn't that amazing? Humble Investor has a question for you, Jennifer. He says, he just joined. Okay, thanks for joining. What is the outlook for augmented reality in real estate? I know she kind of touched upon it, but let's hear it again. What is your outlook for augmented reality in real estate? Thanks for the question.
It's a great question, and depending on the direction he's going, because there's a couple of directions we can take it. I think the first one that that we talked about originally was around bricks and mortar, and the evolution and owning space in the metaverse. The other consideration, which to answer the question, I'm all for, and I will create that experience, and I look forward to owning property in the metaverse myself. I'm already in crypto, so utilizing those funds and going to that next space with OVR will be a lot of fun, and I look forward to it. That's part one. But then when we also think about the metaverse as it applies to real estate, when we look right now at real estate companies, the traditional real estate companies that are out there have always been, bricks and mortar, until recently. And so I actually very purposefully joined a real estate company that is not bricks and mortar. And we're starting to hear more and more about different brokers or brokerages that are playing in that space, which is really cool to see. There's one, Austin Realtor, who just recently spun off. He's launching his own brokerage. He's still trading, obviously, in the day-to-day of bricks and mortar and buying and selling homes for people. In real property. But then you look at, I'm part of a brokerage, it's called EXP. Everything is held in the metaverse. I go online, I have an avatar, I have access 9 to 5, 5 days a week, and usually within, 2 to, maybe I think the longest I ever stayed on waiting for somebody was 8 or 9 minutes, but I have access to people, and our brokerage lives in the metaverse. So there is no longer this bricks and mortar brokerage. So there's no longer this overhead, which in this day and age, quite frankly, is bullshit. I hope I'm allowed to swear. But really focusing on the client experience is so important. And coming off of this pandemic, I think we've learned that we can do so much by not being in a coming together and being in a place. As long as we're supporting our clients and our business and they're getting the best opportunity to do what they need to, our infrastructure for this planet it's changing. So I love his question because it's kind of, I've taken it 2 different ways and there are more ways like we talked about. So yeah, real estate is getting out of the ages where those dragons that we talked about at the beginning existed, and really moving through to those who are not speculating but able to specialize in the world of NFTs and the metaverse and blockchain. So I'm super excited that real estate is in a space where we can really decide if we want to be at the forefront or not, because we all have to live somewhere, right?
I love that EXP is in the metaverse. I kind of looked them up a while ago, and it was like their founder was the one that I think he used some platform where he was the one that decided, let's have this customer service. Let's train our realtors and brokers on the metaverse. That's insane. I want to respect your time. Humble Investor said that's amazing. He really loved your answer to that. Thank you so much. Great question.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was, and you got one new follower from over your landlord. So guys, please tweet to Jen, ask her questions, and it'll get her to tweet back because she's so busy in Austin. She just is not a realtor. She runs so many other, I don't know, like events or organizations, and she's a super busy woman. But I'm always saying that, you know, like, especially with crypto and blockchain and NFTs, it's all about having access to those conversations on Twitter, and then you're always having your mobile phone. So Jen, they're going to be like chatting you up on Twitter.
All right, I look forward to it. Thanks for dragging me in.
No, you're welcome. And I'm looking forward to once we set a date and a time for her to meet Hex and Hexadize and over. Why do I have an issue saying that name? I want to say OVR Landlord, but I don't want to say Over Landlord because it's not over. OVR Landlord. I'd love for you to meet them, and then I'll let everybody know. So guys, I'm actually going to be doing this every Fridays with Jen at about like 10:45. I'll figure it out. I'll put it in the schedule, and we'll try to cut it down to 30 minutes or 40. It depends on hers, but come with your questions next week. I'll make sure to pre-promote it so we'll know, but we're definitely always going to be talking about real estate, the metaverse, and getting into NFTs. Right?
Awesome. Yes, absolutely. Again, thank you so much for having me on today, Carmen. It's been a blast. There's so much we can talk about. You know, and there's so many parallels that, you know, we can explore in the future that are in, you know, real life and in the metaverse. So it'll be a lot of fun.
Great. Now I know you got to go, but if you can answer this question really quickly, let me know. OVR Landlord wanted to know, what are your thoughts, Jen, about owning metaverse property that is on streets, like street corners and public walkways, etc.?
Well, you know what? That's probably a really great discussion that we can pick up. And I would look for you to lead me in that because, you know, again, people value community, they value security, and they value, you know, it's no different than why does somebody value, say, Gucci or Tag Heuer or Rolex or Porsche. When there are all these other brands that can get you, you know, the same car, like a car from point A to point B, you know, you wear a watch, you know, you can get a, you know, a $200 Apple watch, you can versus, a $25,000 Rolex. There's so many things. So it really becomes this value equation and what we value and where we deem that our currency, which is both energy and time and finances, where that is all placed. So I would say it depends on the corner. What corner are you standing at is what I would, you know, depends on what corner you're standing at. Because the corner of, you know, on Rodeo Drive, to bring that back, you know, of, you know, Sunset Boulevard, I don't even know where they intersect, but there's a higher value. Obviously, the real estate, the real property has a higher value based on the fact that people go there to experience something that they don't experience somewhere else. So I would draw the same parallel to that as you know, in the metaverse as I would in the real world, because it is the same. It is the same experience. You are going to go. What did you say earlier about the luxury retail experiences? I mean, that was a perfect example that you talked about, Carmen. Is how do you why are these people who really only care about, they make money right now in 3D world, but now they're going into the metaverse. So I would say it's the same. It would be the same type of value because you are looking for the same type of experiences in that other space.
Oh my God, I love it. I 100% agree with you, and I know that other people do. If you agree with Jennifer S. Goodman with what she said about OVR landlords, what does she think about owning metaverse property on like streets or street corners? Go ahead and give us a hell yeah on the comments below if you are on YouTube, and give us a thumbs up on the, the chat. So we'll know that you agree. I definitely agree with Jennifer, and I love your thoughts on this. You're like, you could be leading the real estate into the metaverse thing. Let's explore this more. Let's explore this more next week on Friday. And if anybody would love to join us, this is what we will do. We can have like a 15-minute 20-minute Digital Femme and Jen talk, or Jen and Digital Femme. And then if you want to come on like OVR Landlord, maybe we can get Hex. I'll send you guys the Zoom link just like we did last week. And we all come on when we have a discussion. How's that?
I love
the more
that
the
idea.
merrier. Yeah,
I think that's a great idea, and I would love to hear, what your thought leaders are talking about, and we can definitely bring in how both our worlds are really. I mean, they're there now, so it's just, we're just at the beginning. We are scratching the surface, and I would rather be in the conversation with you and having my brain sort of tweaked any day. So I relish the time that we got to spend together today, and I look forward to doing it again next week.
Oh, that's great. Thank you so much for your time, Jen. Looking forward to seeing you next week, same time, same channels. And I'm going to send out that Zoom link after the 15-20 minute mark. And if anybody wants to hop on, just hop on. All right?
I love it. Thank you so much. It's been great.
Oh, you're welcome. But before we go, have a great day, Jennifer, and I'll see you next week.
All right. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me on. Take care.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Now, let me see. I'm going to be, because I'm my own everything. Like, that's amazing. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. Shout out to OVR Landlord and Humble Investor and No Buy No Aloha. I love it. Thank you especially to Jennifer S. Goodman for joining me. I kind of sprung this on her. I know that I wanted to do this a few weeks ago, but I had issues with this, but it doesn't matter. Well, it does matter. But please, guys, are you having lag issues? I'd really want to know. I'm going to try to improve that. But right now, that means I probably need to get a new processor or a laptop and stuff like that. So let me know. It seems like you guys hung in there, so it couldn't have been that bad. But as I always want to say, if you liked this interview and you liked this live, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give this live a thumbs up. Share it with your friends. I will be sharing it. So this is going to be a weekly with Jennifer S. Goodman. Hopefully we'll get more other people in, like mortgages or title, title company owners or managers. And watch out for next week, because I will share out that Zoom link so y'all can join. And I love that stuff. Anyway, wherever you are in this world, have a great day, have a great evening, and see you in the next live stream.